Hi guys, and welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast with me, Alex Whiteley. And today we have got a great guest coming on the show, Mr. Mark Fielden, a regular of the show. He's been on a few times to talk about the amazing event he puts on, Chords Crush Cancer. It is a fantastic event that raises money for Lincoln Davis in memory of his mother, Margaret. And it looks like this year is going to be a big year for them. And as you're going to hear in the podcast, I'm not going to ruin it. You guys listen to the podcast and enjoy it. But before we go into the podcast, I want to say thank you to everybody that's been supporting the return of the biscuit. There have been lots of shares, lots of really nice comments. The downloads are doing really well. Thank you so much for sticking around and being patient with me, because I know it's not been the easiest the easiest few weeks putting this all together, but I am so happy to be making stuff with this show again. And also, before we get into the podcast, it's definitely worth me giving the Market Hall in Shrewsbury a massive shout out. They won the best UK market for the second year in a row, deservedly too, because if you've never been in there, it's amazing. It is really, really cool place. So congratulations to everybody that's involved with the Market Hall in Shrewsbury. One of my favourite places to go. I've recorded so many amazing podcasts there with the ambience in the background. It's just such a great place, really, isn't it? So well done to the Market Hall. And lots of festivals starting to rev up now with their promotions. One of them I saw was Loop Fest, for example. They're bringing Beardy Man to Shrewsbury. Beardy Man. I love Beardy Man. Beardy Man's one of my favourite people on the planet. If you're not aware who he is, he's one of the best beatboxers on the planet. He's a really delightful fella as well. So give him a follow on social media. And Loop Fest, give them a follow. Shropshire Festivals as well, bringing the food festival back to Shrewsbury. I would love to find out more about that. And Hawkston Park Follies as well. They've got a festival coming. Really need to reach out to them and say hi and see what's going on with that, because that sounds quite exciting. So yeah, looking forward to getting rid of this dull weather and welcoming in the spring. Maybe I'm being a bit too needy at the moment. I need that warm weather, man. I'm a summer child, you know. I need that sun. Anyway, I've rambled on for enough now. I'm going to leave you with this podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mark Fielden. Enjoy. It's been a funny old year because
certainly has.
Can you hear okay?
Yeah, absolutely fine, yeah.
So I took a break, didn't I?
Yeah.
I was like, I ain't doing this no more. Not for a bit anyway. And it did me such a good thing, sort of resetting my brain a little bit. But I feel like because of that, the year's gone a little bit quicker.
Yeah, it's strange sat here again already. The year's just flown by. Yeah, graphics and that on the new stuff for you look really, really good.
Got Web Orchard to thank for that. I forgot
really
to plug
impressed.
it. So I said to Web Orchard, I was like, we worked together for a while. Still, so I said to him, like, I'll sort the website out, don't worry. But because I'm flat out, I've done 3 interviews already this week because I'm trying to get ahead. Do you know what I mean? So that I can put my efforts into everything else. And I was like, don't worry about the website, I'll sort that out. And I'm on the podcast going, make sure you visit the website. It's not even up yet. They've done some amazing stuff with the graphic
and
the website.
Really,
I was just going to move things around a bit, you know. But they've redesigned that graphic. And I was speaking to James Millichamp, which is on our next episode. I'm going to release you before him because obviously time sensitive.
Absolutely,
yeah. Talk about. I mentioned to him that we're going to sort a competition out with the kids from the Shrewsbury High School to design next season's logo.
Oh, brilliant! Really good.
Yeah, so
great idea.
So Mark Fielden, I'm a big fan of traditions, right, and I'm very proud of the friends that we've made with this podcast and the people that come on the show, and we see their progression. We've seen that with our show with Dungarees and Squeegees, DNS Studios. They've seen them going from one strength to another, and the same with yourself, Mark. You know, Chords Crush Cancer every year seems to come back bigger and stronger.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I feel it more this year than ever. Really, I think. Last year was a record breaker for us, over £4,200 raised on the evening. Who can forget that unforgettable auction moment when the Wayne Rooney shirt went for £310, which you filmed live for me, which was brilliant.
Yeah.
And that's so far our biggest auction lot ever.
Yeah.
However, I really think this year we will beat that with some of the prizes that we've got on offer. But to touch on your question, we're bigger and better. And this year is going to be absolutely amazing for us as we look to go past the £20,000 mark.
It's incredible. I remember you saying, "Oh, we're going to go past the £10,000 mark." No,
I remember that well. Yeah. That was at our 5th event. The hashtag was CCC5 for 10. We smashed that, and now we're on the verge of doubling it. So it's really exciting for us at the moment.
And if you're listening to this and you're hearing Mark talk for the first time about Chords Crush Cancer, you can go back and listen to the past episodes. I mean, please do. But you can also go to our YouTube channel and look at the coverage we did of last year's event because...
Yeah, which just want to say a big thank you to you for that, Alex. Over the course of doing my events, I always wanted to get a vlog done of it. It's been one of my ambitions, and what you put together last year was absolutely mind-blowing. And after the event, I sat down and watched it, and it was just brilliant just to see what maybe I don't see when I'm involved in an event, sort of the reactions of people and the people who you interviewed. And it was a really proud moment. I sat there and I absolutely loved it. So really grateful to you. It was great. And it's something that I really wanted to happen.
I do like, so the thing is, I love to make stuff like that. And I'd started to try and sort of dabble with a bit of doing that on the side. And I realized that it's only good to do it when it's fun. And that was a very fun one to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like to do it when it's fun. If I was to do that for a living, I nearly went down that road as a profession. I had the choice to go into media. And after doing it a little bit to professionally, I guess, semi-professionally, I think I made the right choice not to. It's got to be a hobby for me, I think.
Yeah, you touched on the word fun there. I think there was a lot of fun involved in it when you look at it. Look at the Magician, for example.
That went nearly viral, that did.
Unbelievable, wasn't it?
Tens of thousands of views.
Yeah. He's back with us this year as well, so goodness knows what he's going to do. He did that trick for yourselves, and he did the one for myself and Carly where he set his wallet on fire. The pot of jam that he did for you was brilliant. And in the build-up sort of to our event, I've been looking back at things like that, and I still enjoy that trick. It was brilliant.
What I'll do is I'll reshare the reel.
That would be fantastic.
I'll chuck it on our Facebook. I don't quite know how Instagram's going to do that, but I can copy the link, chuck it on our Facebook for sure, because that went really well. There's like 3 times when we've kind of gone semi-viral.
That was a great interview, Jeff. Now finally, where can I find your website?
I don't have a website.
What?
I just never got around to making one.
You know what? I can't take you seriously with an attitude like that. I am extremely disappointed in you. To not have a website is irresponsible, lazy, you lack ambition. I mean, where's the vision?
Don't be like Jeff. Be responsible. Get out there and shine with a beautiful website by Web Orchard, where they will take care of all of your website needs. Go to theweborchard.com right now and get a beautiful website you deserve.
You know what? Get out.
Once was me recording the rain at the flower show. It was like biblical, and it was like like monsoon. That got like 15,000 views in an hour or something like that. There was the pot of jam.
Yeah.
And then there was Timmy at Comic-Con in Telford speaking to Charlie.
Yeah, brilliant.
Cox about Daredevil.
Which was great, by the way. I did see that on your social media.
He loves that show, and I've been getting it like at both angles, because I let Timmy watch the show, which is quite violent, but we were monitored it. Like,
yeah, I
knew the times that would come up where it was probably too much for him, so I'd be like, no, don't watch this bit. But like, he followed this. Like, if you've ever watched the Daredevil TV show, it's quite a. It's not like a bam, bam, bam kind of show. There's lots of story to take it on. And he really got engrossed into that TV show. So when he got to ask Charlie Cox that question, he was over the moon, genuinely.
Oh, I bet,
talked about it for days. Yeah,
excellent. So. Really good for him too.
Yeah, I mean, I like him to get involved with any kind of sort of culture that he's enjoying. Of course, obviously nothing too adult. But yeah, it's good to be able to. I mean, I always compare what you do that night as like a wedding night, because it goes so quickly and you look like you're trying to deal with so many moving parts as Chords Crush Cancer happens, that like when we make a vlog or something like that, it's easy, like you said, it's good to be able to sort of slow down and look back.
Yeah, absolutely. So, on the night I'm juggling so many plates, so to speak, and you don't really get to see everything that's going on in the room, because you're either looking at the raffle tickets, the auction, when the bands are on, speaking to friends, speaking to people who have come to support you from the charity, for example. So you don't really see everything, and to watch that back, it was really, really good, and there were so many nice comments from the performers. Obviously the magician Andy Mills said some really nice things, and it was great. Really, really
happy
great.
We could do that, mate. Happy to do it, no problem. So I think what we need to do is, before we go into it, if people are, like I said, if they are listening to this for the first time, as in regards to Chords Crush Cancer, we need to explain what it is. I mean, what is Chords Crush Cancer?
Yeah, so it's an event that I set up back in 2016 now. In 2015, sadly found out that Mum had cancer, and I wanted to pay something back to Lincoln Davis, who were providing her treatment. So I just came up with an idea of an event, and it just sort of linked in with having music, because a lot of my friends were musicians. So I asked them to perform for me, which they all agreed to. It was just meant to be a one-off evening, but the success of the first one, people were sort of saying to me, you need to do this again. So we did it again, and it got bigger and better, and over the course of the years, we've gained a lot of following. We've had some fantastic items given as prizes. A lot of celebrities have been supporting us now, which is brilliant, and it's just grown into such a feel-good event that raises a lot of money for charity, but also provides a quality evening of entertainment for people. So for those people who are listening who haven't heard of us before, we're approaching our 8th event, where we are looking to go past £20,000 raised. It's a great evening we've got lined up.
Yes, an evening of live music from local musicians, maybe some from just outside Shropshire, but mostly local musicians at the Inn on the Green. Rachel's great.
She is, yeah, she's great. She just gives her pub to me for an evening every year. And
you fill that pub up.
We do, yeah.
In return, to be fair.
Yeah, we do.
I'm going to take pictures of you, Mark. I know how much he loves having a camera shoved in his face. That was ironic, because he really doesn't.
I don't mind it at all. But like you said last year, you're just saying that we fill the place out. Yeah, we certainly do. I remember you turning up hoping to get a table, but all the tables had gone. Wasn't it a mic stand you came along with?
Yeah, it was a tripod for my camera. Yeah. And I carried it around all night because there was just nowhere to put it, was there?
Yeah.
And I've turned it with banners, and you let me put my banners up and stuff. That was quite cool.
Yeah, hopefully you got them this year. We can take them along.
I don't know what the state they're in. I think one of them might have broke. I don't think one of them might have torn, actually. I think it actually, something leaned against it and scratched it. Those banners, they're not...
they're not the sturdiest things, are they? No.
I remember we had an old one back... In fact, I need to get more made now, because I've got new logos. If anybody wants to make me a banner for the Shrewsbury Biscuit, I'll put your logo on there as well, just to advertise. Can you pull them up? I pulled one up, my old one, and just at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, we always have... fun on the evening, should we say, trying to put them up. They're not the easiest of things to put up, to be fair. But.
Yeah, it's important to show people what you're doing there and advertise. And it's one of those things that you do very, very well. I mean, you spend a lot of time. I mean, you spend the whole year, don't you, collecting things and speaking to people and creating networks and stuff.
Yeah, yes is the answer to that. This year, I got married in April. Carly was adamant that we weren't doing another event, but I persuaded her, because I want to get past the £20,000 raised. So just after April, the event kind of kicked in, so started sending my emails and putting the feelers out on what kind of prizes that I was looking for. Got the venue booked, spoke to the musicians, the magician, the caricaturist, and it starts from there. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't understand how time-consuming an event can be putting on. And I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I want it to look professional. I want it to run well, and ultimately, I want to have really good prizes for the people who come along. And I think we've done that again this year with the caliber of prizes we have on offer, and the raffle, and also the auction.
And we'll get to that in a second. I just want to say that I can relate 100% because I bailed on Pod Aid last year because I'd started a new job and I was kind of winding down with the biscuit. I was struggling a little bit with balancing sort of the biscuit, home life, work. I think it's very plain to see that what was going on, and like if you know me personally. And so I was like, no, I'm really sorry. I'm going to have to like bail. And I did, because it consumes every single part of your life. There's nothing more disheartening than sitting and writing like 10,000 emails in a day and getting not one response. The people that do respond, it's electrifying, isn't it? It's like, wow.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I spend hours upon hours sending emails or messages via X, as it's now called, or Facebook, Instagram, etc. So a bit like yourself, I balance work with home life. Got the triplets at home. I'm married now. But yeah, all my spare time is literally...
You've come from Parents' Evening just to do this?
I have indeed, yeah, straight from Parents' Evening to promote our event with yourself on the biscuit. So that's dedication in itself. But
dedication.
It does take a lot of time, and I think a lot of people don't see that, and unless they're involved in something like this, Pod Aid, like yourself, the biscuit, they might not understand. But when you get the response, and a good response with a great prize, it makes all the negativity and the no's, and the no responses are the ones that get me the most. I can deal with a no.
That's better.
A no reply is the most frustrating thing I think you can have.
Yeah. It's the waiting. That's the thing. Did you get my email? Did you not? Have you been like not blacklisted, but like sometimes you get an email saying you are banned from responding? Or yeah.
No, I've got an interesting story though. So I've emailed a lot of people who are performers, so a lot of comedians, and there was one called Rosie Jones, who's a comedian herself. She's appeared on the TV quite a lot, and the company who represents her actually sent me an email and said, Mark, we've supplied you with tickets to various acts because they represent a lot of different comedians. Why have you emailed her personally? So I was thinking about it, and I went back on her Facebook page, and her personal email was on her Facebook page from before she'd become famous. I screenshotted it, sent it back, and I got an email back with some tickets for her show in Chester, and just saying thank you from them for me pointing that out. So now, if you look at her page, all the emails will go direct to the company that represents her. So yeah, that was an interesting email. I thought, oh dear, I've done something wrong here. I might be blacklisted from getting tickets, but it worked out in my favour in the end that I'd done them a favour.
I think my case, I was up late one night and I was just emailing random people, and that's just how you got to do it sometimes. You just got to email random people, and it was an agency, like a TV film agency.
Yeah,
but it was like there was some A-listers, some B-listers, some C-listers. It was kind of like there was a wide spectrum of the people that they represented, and I was kind of like, this is Pod Aid planning, you know? And I was kind of like, hi, I'm doing a thing for charity. It's really cool. So you got a great roster. Any chance you can spot us someone for an hour maybe? And it got an automated response. Your message has not been received because we do not accept messages from cold emailers or something like that.
Oh, please. Wow, yeah.
And that was any further responses will not be accepted. And I was like, okay.
Goodness me. No, I've not had that happen
like
to me.
Like an automated bam, unless you're somebody that...
I get automated responses, but nothing quite on that level.
I was normally okay, then fine, let's find it.
Normally, the sort of automated ones you get, say, your message has been received, and you'll receive a response in 24, 48 hours. But 90% of the time, I'd say, when you get an automated reply like that, you don't hear off them again.
What have you received this year in ways of acceptance? Like, is there anything that you've absolutely blown your mind?
Yeah, definitely. One of the prizes we've got, you'll relate to it being a Shrewsbury Town fan. So I've been following a guy on Instagram for a while, and he does a lot of artwork on football shirts, actually painting on the football shirt. He's done a lot of things for the Premier League footballers. One of them, just to mention, is Aaron Ramsdale, the Arsenal goalkeeper. He did a design
Sometimes
for his birthday.
Arsenal goalkeeper.
Well, yes, yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah, he's been left out a little bit, but he did one for his birthday, and that's the one that caught my eye. So I dropped an email, not thinking much of it. Got an email back saying, "Yeah, why not? Let's do it. What have you got in mind? What have you got planned?" So I waited. This is way back in July. So this is how long this prize has taken me to get. So I waited until the new Shrewsbury Town shirt was launched, purchased it from the club shop with the captain's number and name on the back, Shay Dunkley. I sent it off and I waited, and see, he had a lot of work going on, this guy, and I got it back last week. It's absolutely mind-blowing how good it is. Somebody asked me if it was a printed picture, like a transfer on the shirt. I said, no, it's actually hand painted on. I'm meeting Shay next week, who's going to sign it.
What? Tell him to come on the Shrewsbury Biscuit. I'm dying to get. I was speaking to his business partner because he's got
cool
rummings.
Yeah. They've supported us as well this year, which I'm very grateful for as well.
Well, we were speaking before the new season. I was like, we were going to do the podcast. And,
oh wow!
And he was like, "Oh, we'll wait till the season ends." Like, and of course, stopped doing the show, didn't I? Like a lemon. So like that was something I missed. So I'd love to, and I feel like it was someone like Shay Dunkley. The reason, if you're listening, Shay, come on my show. Seriously, it'd be good. Because I don't want I don't want to talk about results. I don't want to talk about transfers. I don't want to talk about all that sort of stuff that people, all the juicy bits they want. I want to talk about how such a nice guy can turn into such an animal in the
on the pitch. Yeah.
I think that's something mind blowing there, because he's a great guy. Like, you know, and then you see him in the box and he's like ragging people about, and he's been really good with me. I've not met him yet face to face. That's next week, but through Instagram we've exchanged a lot of messages regarding the shirt, and he's been really, really generous in his comments about what we're doing. He's donated to our Just Giving page, which was really good of him, and I'm really looking forward to meeting him to thank him. And he's absolutely mind blown by how good the shirt looks. It's I'm going to write my
fantastic.
Number on a piece of paper.
I'll hand it over for you. Just whilst we're talking about the shirt, I just wanted to say it's RJ Customs on Instagram. Just a shout out to them. It's unbelievably good.
RJ Customs.
Yeah.
I've seen the shirt. It looks fantastic. Whether you're a shoes, I hope nobody wins it and wears it. You've got to frame that thing.
It's actually heavier than you think as well, because it's got 3 or 4 base layers of paint on it before then the detail goes on. So when I got it back and I held it up, it's heavier than you would think it would be, but it just looks incredible. And mind blowing that we've got that.
And you got
a lot of interest.
The Disney template as well, didn't you?
Yes. So for your listeners who might not know about that, Disney, who's a Banksy style artist,
they work together apparently. I went to a gallery in Liverpool, and they had loads of Banksy style art there. And I went in and I spoke to them. I was like, "Oh, we thought we had a Banksy in Shrewsbury, and it was Disney." And they were like, "Yeah, they share the same templates or something."
Wow,
so they know each other. Yeah,
really, that's really interesting. So, Disney had some guerrilla art appear on the market hall, and at the time it was washed off quite quickly. So I'd messaged him and said, "Oh, could I get something?" And he messaged back saying, "Oh, well, actually, there's something planned for Shrewsbury again," and that is the artwork that you see on the market hall now, which is Darwin's Evolution is what it's
still
called.
there, I think.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I walked past it this morning. So I messaged him and he said, "Yeah, of course, I can give you the exact artwork on an acrylic board." So I was really excited because I thought, yeah, I'm going to meet this guy. But no, he left it at a hotel in Shrewsbury. So I was on my lunch break at work. I went to the hotel. He wasn't there. The woman at the hotel asked me for ID and who I was, and could I prove who I was via the messages. So I had to get my phone out to show her. and then was presented with this acrylic board, and I took it back to work because it was all in bubble wrap, and I opened it. People at work were like, wow, what is that? And then the Shropshire Star jumped on board because they had run a story about it. And I went down for a photo shoot at the Market Hall. The Market Hall did a lovely write-up, and I think that's going to be really, really popular for us as well. So it's a very, very unique item. And still, like you said, it is still displayed on the Market Hall wall.
So is he anonymous then?
Yes.
Just like Banksy?
Yeah. So there is a rumour. He has messaged me on Instagram. There's a rumour that he might well be attending our event. He's asked when and where. And
maybe this one's Neil Buchanan then, because I always wanted Banksy to be Neil Buchanan from Art Attack.
We shall see. So keep your eyes peeled.
He's a musician. Oh man!
So yeah, there's strong interest from him on the event and where it is, and I know there's a desire to come. But I'd be stood in the room looking around, going, "Who are you?" But yeah, really interesting, and what a unique prize as well. You know, something we've never had before, and I doubt many events like ours would have the opportunity to have such a piece of art.
Okay, so Mr. Disney, if you're going to listen to this, if you want to do an anonymous interview, I will not display who you are. Just come and find me and whisper something. I don't know, what, Mr. Biscuit guy, and do an interview.
I think that would be really good because obviously when this goes out to everybody, I'll tag him in it, and imagine that anonymous podcast would be brilliant. Some of the stories he's got to share, I'm sure, would be fantastic.
I work with GDPR and work.
Absolutely,
keep a secret, all right. I work with press embargoes and things like that.
Yeah, I would like to know what time of the early morning that he went and did the artwork. When I spoke to the hotel woman, she gave a time frame but wouldn't commit to anything, but it was certainly after midnight and before 4 a.m. So
I love this story.
Yeah, it's so good, isn't it? So good.
It's almost that beats the Mike Perkins drug deal. I always talk about Kaz buying that piece of art in the background. You guys know, you know what happened with that one. And big shout out actually before we get any further on Shrewsbury Market Hall. They just won the best market in the UK again for the second year in a row.
Thoroughly deserved. Absolutely brilliant. It's a great place to be.
Well, I know we have listeners from outside of Shrewsbury, outside the UK as well. But if you do ever come to Shrewsbury and you see that building, that big white building outside, and you think, what's the point in going? It is a market hall like you've never seen it before. The food eateries in there are just blow your mind. And some of the stalls there are brilliant too. And it is the best market in the UK, literally.
It's so diverse, isn't it? You've touched on the food eateries. There's so many different choices that you can have.
It messes with your head. Yeah, you walk in, you're like, I can smell Thai. I can smell like the amazing food in the cafe, coffee, and
yeah, it's brilliant. It's really, really good. And you've also got our friends at Gin Different there, and the Raven Bookshop I've been to speak to today. I'm sure
both wonderful business owners
later. But yeah, if you are listening to this and you haven't been to the Market Hall, then I urge people to go along.
Then you're insane. Make sure you go to the Market Hall in Shrewsbury. It's wonderful. So we've got Shea Dunkley's shirt. We've got Disney.
Yeah, we've got this year's Liverpool home shirt as well, signed by Darwin Núñez, which took a lot of time and effort to get hold of.
If you'd have had Luis Diaz, my wife would have just put all the money into it because Colombian, obviously.
Yes, of course. So yeah, really pleased with that one as well to go alongside the Shea Dunkley shirt. And then one of my favourites actually is it's a map of the UK, a huge map of the UK, but it's drawn as football stadiums.
I saw this.
It's such a unique piece.
That's iconic, that picture, isn't it?
It's really, really good. Yeah. So we've got that, and we've also got a signed piece of art, which was more of a cartoon, really, from the cartoonist from the Guardian newspaper, which is football grounds around the UK and what's unique about them. So Shrewsbury Town is replicated in there from the old stadium with the man in the coracle.
Yeah.
So that's a really unique piece.
Iconic as well. Again, yeah, that's wonderful.
That's from David Squires, the cartoonist.
And you always do like tickets to go to see things or go places.
Yeah, loads and loads of tickets from JLS in the Quarry.
JLS?
We've got hold of 2 tickets from.
They come to Shrewsbury, are they?
Yeah, this summer, JLS in the Quarry. We've got 2 tickets for that. Various comedians as usual.
Yeah.
So
He's trying. I can see the cogs
yeah,
trying
the
to turn in the
cogs are
back.
ticking. Yeah, if anyone wants to see, they go on our social media. We've got so many. It's 23 comedians that are supporting us this year.
23.
23.
Wow.
Yeah. So one of the main ones being John Courtney, who is the winner of Britain's Got Talent. So Britain's Got Talent have been good to us again this year, which we're very grateful for. And there's just loads more.
If you're ever looking for contacts, people to get in touch with,
Over the years,
Mark Fielden's the guy to come to. Who knows?
I've come up with a few over the years. To be fair. So it's all good. Really, really good.
What's been the biggest challenge for you this year as opposed to the years before? Is there anything that you've struggled with more?
I think wanting to better myself and the event would be the biggest.
That would be your
challenge.
always challenge, wouldn't it? Just to try and bet. Yeah.
So sort of if we touch on last year, we had some really good prizes. I've mentioned the Wayne Rooney shirt that went for £310, but we're also the face of Shropshire Magazine. So it was a case of, right, I want to go past £20,000 raised. How am I going to do that? How am I going to be bigger and better than last year when we had so much coverage via the Shropshire Magazine, which got us a load? So what I've looked at, we've got Radio Shropshire on board, we've got Shropshire Star on board, and just this evening before I walked through your door, I had an email from Midlands Today, so speaking with them about getting us on the TV. So what a milestone.
Never mind the biscuit guy,
be.
let's get the BBC in. Yeah.
What a milestone that would be for us to get some recognition and promotion for the charity on the TV. And then, of course, there's the book. Which
Book?
Yes.
There's a book?
There is a book. So for the last 9 months, I've been juggling, organising our 8th event and also writing a book about my fundraising journey in memory of Mum, and that was launched on Monday on Amazon. We've started to sell some copies already, and they will be available on the evening as well. It's really exciting. We've had 2 5-star reviews so far on Amazon. Not that it's about the stars, it's about the comments, and they're really, really lovely. So really pleased with how that's gone so far.
It's a tenner as well, which is a steal. I was looking at it earlier. So make sure you get it on Amazon and get that book. It looks great.
Thank you. Yeah.
9 months it took you to put that together.
Yeah, started. So just after the wedding, as I've touched on, I launched the 8th event and started planning that. But I've always wanted to write a book about my fundraising journey. My experience is lacking. I used to write the Shrewsbury Town fanzine years ago, so that's where maybe my writing style came from. But yeah, started 9 months in total it's taken to sort of get the story from my childhood, growing up, school, holidays, Christmas time, what it was like growing up with mum and dad and my 2 sisters, and then in later life, when sadly mum got her diagnosis and her treatment, we were lucky that she was there at our first 2 events, and she battled back from being in hospital and showed really strong mentality and fighting spirit, and hopefully that comes across in the book. And then it goes on from that to, how we plan for the funeral, my words that I spoke at the funeral, and life after her passing, where we were very passionate as a family to keep raising awareness for Lingen Davis and raising money in her memory. And ultimately the book takes you through the journey of Chords Crush Cancer, how I plan an event, what the successes have been, what the failures have been, and where we are today. And I sort of aimed the book at trying to give comfort to those people who are suffering with cancer.
Of course, yeah.
Hope to those families who are affected by it, and ultimately to inspire the next generation of fundraisers like me, because I'm just a normal lad from Shrewsbury who had an idea and a passion to raise money in memory of his mum, and I'm sat here today nearly going past 20 grand raised in her memory for a wonderful, wonderful charity.
It's a really wonderful thing, because I feel like books like the one you've written and what you've explained, it shows that cancer has a blast radius. Right?
Absolutely.
So it's not just a person. I mean, of course, the person that's suffering is absolutely at the center there, and the care and the empathy and the compassion goes towards that person. But like the relatives and the friends and the family that go through that journey with them as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, and that's what I've tried to touch on in the book, is my feelings, so that people who read it, they're not necessarily going to know me or indeed my mother, but they might be on their own cancer journey, and there is support out there for people and families who aren't directly affected. They're not the people suffering with cancer, but they're in that family situation, and there is a lot of support and advice there, and hopefully they can see what I went through and how I dealt with it, and ultimately give them some comfort or advice or even some structure to how they go about doing things. And if I can do that for even one person who reads my book, then I've done my job.
Well done, man. Well done. Really, really, really. Honestly.
Thank you.
But all the support in the world for that. And, you did it in 9 months as well. What does that look like on a day-to-day scale, 9 months of writing? Is that like hours and hours a day, or is it 20 minutes a day?
No,
or?
it's here and there, I'd say, because it's kind of family, work, 8th event, have I got time to do some book work? And I was just jotting down ideas as I went. So if a memory popped into my mind, I'd make sure that I wrote it down, even if it's on a scribbled bit of paper on my lunch break at work, for example, so that I could then incorporate it into when I was doing more structured writing. So it was important to me just to capture any memories that I really wanted to get in there.
And how did you access those memories? Was it through photographs? Was it through videos? I mean it's not easy to go back. I couldn't talk about things I did on my 9th birthday, for example. These things, they're hard to remember sometimes.
Yeah, a bit of both of what you've said, really. My sister Sally's got some fantastic old photographs that she brings out every birthday. She throws them on Facebook, which helped. So I looked through those, and just I tend to have quite a good memory. So when I sit down and think about what we've done as a family over the course of the years, I'm quite lucky that my memory is good, and I could just jot those ideas down and then structure them into what I was trying to talk about in the chapters that I was doing at the time.
Do you ever get like nostalgia pangs? It sounds like a weird thing, like where you smell a certain smell or hear a certain sound or see something you haven't seen in years. And and it like sends you back there just for like a millisecond. Yeah,
definitely. I think music's one for me. I can hear a tune that comes on, and you're like, wow, that takes me back to sixth form, or smells. We talk about smells whenever I'm visiting one of my musician friends, Dublin wise. You smell the chicken wings, you're like, yeah, I'm back in Dublin. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying totally.
It happened to me just today. I was in Bridgenorth. I walked into a shop and I heard that, hot dog, jumping for that weird song. And I hadn't heard that since I was probably about 11, 12. And I was like, makes you like hear it. It's a weird feeling to have. Like,
no, it is strange though, isn't it? It's just how things can affect your mind and where it puts you back in those memories. I talk in my book about family holidays, for example. We used to go to Pontins as
the one in Brill, or
we went to Southport a few times and various places across the UK. But and no,
I was going to say other Pontins are available.
Yes, there was a post on Facebook that came up that one of the Pontins was closing down, and immediately my mind went straight back to a story about wrestling of all things. I remember vividly we were in the ballroom, that's what it used to be called at Pontins, and there was live wrestling taking place, and I shouted boo or hiss to one of the wrestlers, and he poked his head out through the ropes as if he was coming for me, and I hid under the table, grabbed onto my mum's leg for her to protect me, and instantly, as soon as I saw that Facebook post, I was back in that room,
There you go, that's your
hiding,
nostalgia
scared that this wrestler was going to come and grab me. So,
and I bet that must have been a nightmare for you whilst you're writing a book, and so like you're doing something at work or you're doing the dishes, and you get a memory and like, oh, I need a pen.
yeah, juggling the dishes, trying to write something down. Yeah, it brought back a lot of really, really good memories. And
Did it bring back some pain as well, though?
yes, 100%. Yeah, sort of the time when we found out Mum was poorly. The phone call I got from my sister when she was at the hospital. I was still working at Toys R Us on the day that she passed away.
Yeah.
That was tough to write about, because I know I went to the hospital to see her, and sadly she'd already passed away. Moments from the funeral brought back memories, which I read the eulogy at her funeral, and that was a really proud moment. But in the build up to it, I remember sitting in the pews and looking at her coffin. I was crying, and I couldn't get my words out to the hymn that we were meant to be singing. I just remember sitting there thinking, how am I going to read this to all these people? But once I got up onto the altar, I just felt this strength, and I think that was from my mother. And I managed to get through all my words without stuttering or hesitating or breaking down or anything. So, yeah, that was tough. There was tough moments in there, but equally the moments of joy and happiness that we shared together.
And I'm sorry to just throw that at you, by the way. I did that on purpose because I wanted people that are listening to understand the challenge that faces someone when they're writing something about something so painful.
Yeah, it is difficult. And one other bit I'd like to share with you is my last moments with her. She was in hospital. I went from Toys R Us to visit. We were watching a football match on the iPad. Mum loved football. Any football match she would watch, because there wasn't a TV in the ward. So we were watching it on the iPad, and it was St. Patrick's night. Everyone who knows me knows that I love a pint of Guinness. And she said, "You go. It's nearly visiting time. It's nearly over. You go to the pub. Get yourself a beer." And I didn't. I said, no, I'm absolutely fine. And I stayed until visiting time finished, and I was allowed to stay a little bit longer. And as I say in the book, which was really tough to write, little did I know that moment would be the last conversation I had, the last time I watched football, the last moment that I spent with my mum. And I'm so glad that I made that decision to stay with her and watch the football. And we had a really good laugh. She was always pointing out things on football matches and shouting at the ref, etc. So it was a poignant moment, and it was tough to write about, but looking back, wonderful at the same time to be there sharing football, which I love as well as her, and having a laugh and a joke at the same time.
It's a good lesson, isn't it? I remember watching. There was an acceptance speech by J.K. Simmons, who played J. Jonah in Spider-Man. I want pictures of Spider-Man. He's also in a number of. Whiplash is one of the greatest movies ever made. He's a monster in that. But anyway, he's accepting an Oscar or a Golden Globe or something like that, and he's like, "Call your parents right now. Just stop whatever you're doing. Call your mom. Call your dad." Because you just never know. You never know when it's going to be the last time you speak to them. And
you don't.
That's I feel myself taking like little snapshots of family life. The other night, we ordered pizza and we sat on the sofa and we watched Gladiators together.
Brilliant.
And I was like, oh my God, like I did this with my dad. And when we were kids, I did that. And now I'm doing it with my son. And I was just like, I can feel myself taking a mental snapshot.
We did something similar. My stepdaughter, Tulip, she came down and I said, come and watch this program with me, and it was Gladiators as well. And,
it's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, she was enthralled by it, and then but that was me explaining who Wolf was.
Yeah, I did say, who's afraid of the big bang?
She's like, who's Wolf? I said, he was the really angry one. So yeah, things like that are just absolutely brilliant.
They have done that show. But if you're on the fence about watching the new Gladiators, it is literally like a scene for scene replay of Gladiators from when we were kids. They've got heels in there. They've got the hero characters.
Yeah,
they've got some of the old games, some new games, and they've done a really good job on it. It's just that's what I'm talking about. Nostalgia pangs. I was kind of like, oh my God.
Oh, it's absolutely brilliant, and we thoroughly enjoyed watching it.
Yeah. What's back to the Chords Crush Cancer?
Yeah.
I could sit and talk about gladiators. Oh, there's one thing I need to talk about as well. So what time are we on? Oh, we've done 40 minutes already.
Wow.
Goes so quickly chatting to you, Mark. The night. What can people to expect from the night? What live music and entertainment have you got to offer people?
We've got lots going on the evening, Alex. Yeah, so the evening itself kicks off at 7 p.m. at the Inn on the Green in Shrewsbury. We've got 3 musical acts, local talent Andy Mills, who's played at our event many, many times. We then got a new band for us, which is called Hot Rubber. Andy Mills is part of that band, so he's got a busy evening ahead. And then I'm delighted, really, we've got the Shirish Rovers coming along. So they played at Shrewsbury Food Festival, and I watched them, and the amount of people who got up dancing was incredible. So
I think I've met these guys.
You may, Rick and Josh. So I'm really, really looking forward to them. They're going to be on last. They're our headline act, and I can just see everybody in the pub up and dancing when they come on. So that's the musical acts we've got. We've also got...
Yeah, it's Josh Lobley,
yeah,
isn't
it is, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
Rick immediately I recognise that.
I think they're going to bring the house down, so it's going to be brilliant. So that's the music lineup. Then we've got Clive joining us again, the caricaturist. He went down so well, absolutely brilliant. He
was at a wedding.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, you do the Chords Crush Cancer?" He's like, "Yeah, I know Mark. It's really good." In fact, there was our character.
Fabulous. So Clive's joining us again. I've touched on it earlier, but we've got the magician, Magic Martin. We've got Name the Bear. We've got the raffle, which is 50 raffle prizes we have, and we've got 10 lots in the auction, which all of our prizes are displayed on our social media pages. And then a little special item, which it won't be for sale, but Bang On Brewery have donated some bottles of Chords Crush Cancer beer for me.
What?
Yes, Chords Crush Cancer branded beer. So I'm delighted with that. It looks great. I've been sent some photographs. And
see, this is one of those things you're like, do I drink the beer or do I keep it forever? Do you know what I mean?
I'm definitely going to keep one bottle unopened. It will be used for promotional pictures only, but the rest I think I might sample.
Yes, that's amazing. You got your own beer, man. I know you had. This is what I was touching on earlier about networks. You work with so many local producers for things. You're wearing a T-shirt by Luke Crump.
Yes.
You had Planet Donut making
last year. Donuts, yeah.
There are local people getting involved that do great things for you, and that's great.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Our network's grown, and I'm glad you mentioned Luke. Thank you, Luke, for these T-shirts. He's generously designed this, which the design is about Shrewsbury, so you can see the Shrewsbury buildings.
Yeah, I can see. Wow.
Up here, you can see the River Severn, you can see Sabrina Boat, and then you can see all the things that have sort of taken place within Chords Crush Cancer. Planet Donut are on here, the Inn on the Green, Lincoln Davis, and there's going to be a competition run as well. So mixed in my T-shirt design, there is musical notes. I'm sure you can see a few, Alex.
Yes.
There is going to be a competition to count how many musical notes there are on my T-shirt, and then the lucky winner will win a T-shirt which have been generously printed for us by Slogans in town. So a big thank you to Luke Crump and Slogans.
You should have got in touch with Socks as well. The great company they are. I've just been introduced by Jane Pickworth, who's a good friend of ours.
Ah, yes, yeah, Jane.
She's introduced us to Sarah from Socks. I'm going to try and get her on the show. She does great stuff.
Brilliant. Yeah, that sounds really, really good.
And this is what I mean about what you do. Like, you don't. It is like what you're doing. Like, this is a T-shirt designed by Luke Crump. We're now talking about Luke Crump. They're helping you whilst you're helping them. Do you know what I mean? It's a calling card.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm grateful to everyone who supports us, but equally, if somebody does support us, they know that we will shout about them and get them recognised and link into anything that we're doing. So, in the press or on the radio or on the podcast, like this evening, we will shout out and be very grateful for their support, and hopefully listeners to this and people who support us on the evening go and support them too.
We're going to mention this for the first time, and then we'll mention it again towards the end of the show, but the date of the event is?
Yeah, it's 3rd of February 2024, 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Get there early because the seats go quickly.
Get there early, yeah.
Get there really early. At the Inn and the Green. Right, I'm going to play one of the new game that we're playing this season, and it's time for.
Wait, random innit?
This is the great moment of the show where we sit and we do random questions for a minute. People get absolutely terrified of this. I found a website called teambuilding.com and they have a random question generator.
Why is this?
I haven't got my smart. Have you got your phone on you? Have you got a stopwatch on your phone?
Yes, I have.
Set it for a minute for me. I always do this. I forget to put my smartwatch on. We're going to do random questions for a minute. What's called a random minute.
Okay, tell me when to start.
I will tell you to start. When I finish reading the first question, press start.
Okay.
Okay, so what is your favourite Christmas movie?
Home Alone.
Home Alone, good shout. Do you prefer to avoid or confront a conflict?
Avoid.
Avoid conflict. Which is typically better, the book or the movie?
The book, I have to say that now.
Do you prefer to dance in the rain or stay cozy inside?
Dance in the rain.
Nice. Where would you love to go for a relaxing holiday?
Maybe not relaxing, but I'd like to visit Brazil.
Nice. What sort of physical exercise do you enjoy?
Walking.
If you won the lottery and you had to spend the money on yourself, how would you spend it?
On a cruise.
Nice. Are you more a type A or a type B person?
Type B.
Type B? Don't know what that means.
No idea.
What board game are you unbeatable at?
Jenga.
Jenga? Oh, I'll give you one for your money. What do you cover your frozen? What do you cover your frozen yogurt with? Ice.
Oh, there's the timer.
That's a random weird. They are random questions. That is a very random
one. I'm not really a yogurt eater, so pass on that one.
Okay. That was an anticlimax, but there's some good.
There was some very random questions.
There's one more. Where can people buy your book?
They can buy it from Amazon.
And what's the name of the book again?
It's called Memories of Margaret.
There you go. Look for that book, guys. What do you look forward to the most of these evenings?
Raising money for charity, but also giving people a good evening and a good time. It's great when you walk around a room and people have got a smile on their face, having a chit chat to somebody. Friends who have maybe not seen each other for a while, are you going to Chords Crush Cancer? Yeah, I'll see you there. Yeah, it's a really good feel-good factor when I look around the room, and you'll often see me when one of the bands are playing. I'll just be stood in the corner, just looking around, taking it all in, and I think that's up there with alongside raising the money. How
are things between you and Carly during the nights? Because I imagine it's very stressful on both of you. There's a great moment in The Bear, the TV show on Disney Plus, and they use the sign language for sorry whenever they're getting stressed, and they do that to each other. It's like, it's fine, I'm sorry. Things are hard. Do you have to have like a moment before it begins? Like, we're not going to see each other much. It's going to be busy. Oh no. Let's do it.
We don't see each other really at all on the evening until after the auction. And, thank you to Carly. She is an absolute superstar on the night. She goes around selling all the raffle tickets. So much so that I bought her own bum bag. I've bought her a card reader. What more does she want? But on a serious note, she's.
I was going to say, you stonker lady.
No, she's absolutely brilliant. She is non-stop, and she deserves her glass of wine at the end of the night, because she literally runs around and makes sure that people have all got their tickets, and I'm very grateful to her for all of the support, and also with the book, she's believed in what I wanted to do and why I wanted to do it, and she supported me all the way. She even contributed to the book. Some of the bits I didn't know were in there until I read them, and there is a bit about Chords Crush Cancer being particularly stressful when I take over the dining room table with all my prizes after Christmas. So that was a little dig at me, but yeah, I'm really grateful to her for buying into the event since we met, and she's a great support, and I wouldn't be able to do it without her.
What I think is funny about the evening as well is that at the beginning, like, you get Mark on the mic, he's like, hello, everybody. We're doing. And towards the end of the night, when he's had a couple of pints, he's like, "Oi!"
Yeah, listen to me.
I remember getting quite loud during some of the auctions, and you were kind of like, "Oh, will you just?" It's so brilliant what you do.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, I do like being behind the microphone, and a couple of beers down me, and I'm a lot more confident, and I'm looking forward to this year's auction, definitely.
If any of the bands that are taking part, like I'm talking to, maybe I don't know, if anybody can get Mark singing by the end of the night.
Wowzers, that's a big ask. They'll need a big donation for that.
Yeah. What would you sing if you could sing any song at Chords Crush Cancer?
I think the classic Chesney Hawkes, "I Am the One and Only." But then again, that's meant to be my funeral song as well. So
that's funny. What would your funeral song be? Oh, I did a thing today on Facebook.
You did, yes.
So I did a couple of questions. Sometimes I use these, sometimes I don't, but I'm going to use them today.
I thought today's was quite an interesting one about what would your book be called?
Yeah, so I put a question. Yeah, if you were to write a book about your life, what would it be called? I did one on my personal, one on the Shrewsbury Biscuit Facebook page. So on my personal one, we had Mike Perkins, who wrote his book would be called "Alien of Extraordinary Ability." This was my official visa status in the States. Mark Fielden put, "What a timely question. Mine was published on Monday. This is called Memories of Margaret."
Oh, what a great answer.
Jane Pickworth, she's put a couple, so we'll do hers on here now. She says you'll have to wait and read it. Mike was like, "Oh, that's a good title." I don't know if she meant to say it like that, but that'd be great, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah.
My brother Connor put, "So far, so good."
Why not?
Graham Arnold. I have to be careful reading this because Graham, we're old school. Me and Graham. He put, "Broke bloke and the stroke that didn't croak and now lives in a world that's woke. What a joke." Because he had a stroke and survived. That's really good. I like that. Well done,
Get
Graham.
used to the rhyming words there as well.
Yeah, that's really good. Well read out by the Biscuit guy, I've got to say. And then we're going to go switch to the Shrewsbury Biscuit page right now and have a look what people put.
I believe the wife put something on there.
I put a couple here that I thought were funny. I put, "Oh, the audacity," because that's like the editing software we use.
Yeah. Oh.
So I was like, podcasters will get that because we all use Audacity, or most of us do anyway. And I put "biscuits and cream" and Alex Whiteley tail. Take that as you want it. Dave Mitchell put "My Saving Grace." Andrew Parry put "Not that it's any of your business, but ... I think that was really
That's a good one, yeah. I saw that one earlier today. I did like that one.
Jane Pickworth, this is a really good, I think this is the winner so far, is "What the actual hell?"
You're expecting something else there, aren't you?
Yeah. And Carly put, "Not sure I can say what I'd call mine." I was like, all sorts of stuff running through my head.
Yeah, that one can't really say because it's got some expletives in it, but it's to do with when she's driving a car and her frustration of other car users.
Do you know what? Usually I'm a calm guy, but there's been something in the air today. I was up on Millbrace roundabout, and as it goes to the left towards Oakley Road, and then you can go right as if you're going towards town. I was sat there, and some guy rudely overtook me to go in that right-hand lane, and as he was doing that, the guy in front of me cut him up into that right-hand lane as we're going left. And I was like, what? You couldn't see, it couldn't be any more like guy rudely overtaking me, and then the other guy cut him off. I was just like, wow, what a great illustration.
Very similar to a story last night. I was walking home from work, and a food delivery driver, should we call them, was speeding past me on his bike, nearly pushed me into the road, but a few moments later fell off said bike, food all over the floor, but I graciously did my good deed for the day and did help him up back onto his bike. But yes.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you. It was my good deed for the
day. So, Chords Crush Cancer, I do have to ask, it's called The Last Chapter.
Yes, we feel...
Is this the last one?
I feel it's come as far as we can go in its current format. The venue is always rammed full now, almost to the point of have we outgrown the venue. So the reason it was called The Last Chapter was to tie into the book. So I didn't announce the book when I called Chords Crush Cancer 8 the last chapter, but it links in kind of nicely. So yeah, it will be the last event in this format. We want to go out with a bang and go past £20,000 raised, and then we're going to look at other avenues. So, you know, I've spent the last 8 years building almost this brand of fundraising, and I think our name is very well respected now and certainly well recognised. So I'm looking at challenge events. Carly and the kids are interested in walking, so whether or not we do a Snowdon challenge, for example. I had a crazy idea, which when I look back at it would take hours, but Ling and Davis have opened a new office in Wales. So could we walk from Shrewsbury office to Wales? I looked at that, I think it was 13 hours. So I definitely need to do some training for that one.
I'll help you with that one.
Thank you very much.
Put me down. I'll do it. I will do it.
It's a good one, isn't it?
If you're doing that, I'll do it with you.
I would love to do it. I definitely need to do some training because I'm not fit enough at the moment.
Let's get a group of us. Let's get men walking and talking. Get everyone doing it.
Brilliant. Let's look into it. And the final one that I've been thinking about, so we've touched on the challenge events, was a comedy. So I've had for a while a Chords Crush Cancer comedy logo in place, and why can't I put a comedy night on? So I've had a couple of comedians that I've been in touch with over the years, so the likes of Chris Ramsey, Carl Hutchinson, Anth Young. So watch this space on that one. I've already got the logo in place, so why not? But yeah, we're certainly not going to stop. We're just going to change how we look at things.
I was going to say like the last chapter, and then next year is like volume 2.
Yeah, imagine that, the irony in it. But yeah, I think it's definitely going to be the last one in this format. And I
was thinking that, and this is no disrespect to Rachel and the guys at
No,
Green, because
she's been brilliant.
But I feel like you could fill out a massive venue. I feel like you could fill out a club easy. Yeah, if not like something bigger.
Yeah, I think we're getting to that stage now where you're quite right. You know, Rachel, thank you, Rachel. You're absolutely brilliant, just giving me your pub every year. But the amount of people who coming to our events now is quite significant. And yeah, we could do that. We've talked before about a big summer event, you know, the Biscuit, Shropshire Festivals, Chords Crush Cancer, in the Quarry. That would be the dream.
Get all local bands there.
It'd be absolutely amazing, wouldn't it? That maybe one year. But I do like the idea of the walking from Ling and Davis offices. We'll get some training in.
I have to buy one of those inflatable T-Rex costumes. Imagine that, 13
brilliant.
hours.
Yeah, we'd have to invest in some of those glasses that Facebook have launched as well, where you can live stream from your glasses onto your Facebook page. I'd certainly be up for that, yeah. So people could follow your journey, literally as if they were walking it with you.
The thing, I don't know if people want to see what I get up to. It would be nice, because sometimes you're like, I wish, you know, fly on the wall on somebody's lives and stuff. That'd be
certainly interesting concept anyway. But yeah, we're not going anywhere. We're just going to evolve into other avenues,
reevaluate,
and see where we can go next, and that's really exciting as well. So watch this space.
Okay, one last time. When is this event happening? Where? What time?
It is Saturday, the 3rd of February at the Inn on the Green in Shrewsbury from 7 p.m. and it is free entry. We'd love your support.
Wonderful. Make sure you guys also follow Mark's social media, Chords Crush Cancer, on both Instagram and Facebook. And is there an event page up as well?
On Facebook. So Chords Crush Cancer is on Facebook, Instagram. We've got Chords Crush Cancer 8, the event page, which you can access through there. And also, if you want to, you can follow our book title as well, which is on both formats as Memories of Margaret.
Wonderful. Mark, thank you so much for joining me on The Biscuit.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
It's been good, man.
Really appreciate you having us back on and your continued support over the years. Very grateful. Thank you.
Happy to do it, my man. Happy to do it. Right, guys, I'll finish with a bit of an outro, say goodbye. But yeah, thank you, Mark. Cheers. Well, that was a great interview. Mark is fantastic. We have these moments that happen on the Shrewsbury Biscuit now and again, and that's when we take the headphones off and the world comes rushing back to you, and then you look down and you're like, oh yeah, we did an hour, and the guest's like, oh, what, really? And if you've been on the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast, you can relate. It goes so quickly. had to really keep an eye on the time because I had places to be, but we could have done another hour of that. So thank you, Mark. Really do appreciate it. And please, guys, if you're listening to this, make sure you give Chords Crush Cancer a follow. They're on Instagram and on Facebook, and turn up at the event as well. I'll be there. It'll be a great event. It's always a good time. So Chords Crush Cancer, good luck to everybody involved. I hope you reach that 20,000 mark and more even, I'm not going to keep you guys for too much. This has been a really, really good episode. I've really enjoyed it. Next week, we've got James Millichamp, who's the winner of the Bellevue Arts Festival competition. And he's here to talk to us about art and education and why Wolverhampton is the centre of the universe, apparently. We definitely got into that quite a bit. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Mark for being a wonderful guest, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.